Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Paul Sainz with Insane Sports Podcast. Hey, happy New Year. I got my boy with
Happy
us.
New Year.
Hey, Top 7, how you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm feeling real good.
Hey,
Real
yes, you
good.
should.
Uh-huh. You already see. Hey, they see what the fuck going on. They see what's going on, baby.
Hey, man, we should have a good episode today. Happy New Year's to everybody out there. Before we get started, I want to tell you, make sure that you click that like button, subscribe, so you can hear us each and every week discuss the Browns, and we'll be getting into more. But hey, man, we're gonna jump straight into it, man. How you feel about the Browns clinching the playoffs, man?
Hey man, if anybody people do follow me afterwards, you know what I mean. I had me a nice little shot, nice little celebration shot, man, for the Browns because we deserve it. You know what I mean. A lot of people who talk about sports and stuff on ESPN and everything like that, they whoever's been around like Cleveland, they understand Bill Belichick before said like this is one of the most passionate fan bases. We did not leave the stadium, you know what I mean, even though after we clinched. Like everybody was still there celebrating. You know, people saw what happened in 2016 when we won the championship with the Cavs. I can only imagine what happens once we win the Super Bowl. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like the man, I don't know what they're gonna do. But when I found out we clinched, I was just like, man, that's one thing. It's not how we wanted it. It's not the players, you know, that we thought was gonna bring us this. But at the end of the day, we did what we wanted to do so far. You know, we're able to advance until next season or the
So,
next.
so I know it's not the conventional way of how we would like it to be and stuff like that, but I saw a statistic about the Cleveland Browns being able to go 11 and 5 with the coach, and that hasn't happened since Paul Brown.
That's correct.
So in saying that, we're not used to being in this position, at least with us.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wasn't alive when Paul Brown was doing what he was doing. So
Uh-huh.
to say as a Cleveland Browns fan, I'm not used to being in this position. So I think the thing we get caught up in, honestly, when we talk about Stefanski, and I don't want to get off topic, but when we bring up Stefanski and we talk about if he's the coach of the year, if he should be a Cleveland Browns coach in the long term, let's not lose sight that we have not been here in our lifetimes, and to really embrace that the Cleveland Browns pulled this together by the strings of nothingness. You get what I'm saying? Like
Talk about it. Talk
we
about it.
really
Insane.
we really are going to the playoffs without a full roster and all of the things. I don't know no one else in the NFL that's been depleted such as us. So I want you to really speak towards that. I know like we're going to the playoffs, but like really what does that mean, and what do Browns fans really need to understand that what's so special about this team?
Yeah, because a lot of people like I follow obviously are from Cleveland and are Browns fans. And I don't understand. It's like we forget where we come from, like where we have come from. And like you said, Paul Brown, that was in the 60s. You know what I mean? So to do this, they let us know that we are I think 4 or 5, 11, and 11 people who got more than 11 wins. But we are the only ones who have 4 different starting quarterbacks. I don't think people understand how it is like to just move like a left tackle or lose a right tackle. When you lose the person who's in the huddle, calling the play, getting familiar with him, that's big. That's major. That's man, it's one of the hardest things to do. Again, we play football, and when you lose your starting quarterback, not once, not twice, but 3 times, and get somebody who's off the couch, who played last year and did not play well, to come onto our team and play how he's been playing, we need to be, happy about this magical ride we've been on. And they said we out of all the salary cap, because again, a lot of people have injuries. Obviously we know ours more than anybody else's other teams, but a great portion of our salary cap has been gone, like are not coming back or on IR. We have the most out of any team as the salary cap handles. Like, so obviously you pay your best players the most money. For people who don't know, you pay your best players the most money, and if those people are missing, those obviously are the best players that's on your roster that are missing. Denzel Ward has missed time. Um, the list goes. I don't. I mean, we could. The whole show could be.
You can name
You know what I
everybody.
mean? Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb, those guys. Everybody has gotten an extension from us because obviously they've been playing well.
Mm,
So to lose those people and still be able to not just, man, we might have to play. We have already clinched it with the extra game.
right.
So that just says a lot about the players and also the coach. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of people can coach in this league, but to grab the players and have them listen to you and, have the leaders in that room, Myles Garrett, a lot of people are on him, me included, about him not showing up for, you know, OTAs or the, things where he don't have to show up to, but still voluntary workouts because Jim Schwartz was a new coach. I'm like, man, that's not showing. But there's a lot of things that I don't see. And obviously he has gotten the ear in that locker room to let people know, like, hey man, let's keep going. We're the best defense. Let these guys cook whatever they give us, like be thankful for. Like just having all of that stuff together, and to be able to have 11 wins, man, that's very major. And we shouldn't take this season for granted.
I I had saw Kevin Stefanski like pull. When I say nothing together, I was making a recap video for Insane Sports Podcast, and I was going back through videos. I was going back through text messages, and I got receipts of myself. So
Mm-hmm.
I got to be real. I wasn't. I was one of those people singing the tune of maybe next year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe next year. By the time of that 49ers game, I was texting my cousin Ev Schefter. That's what we like to call her, Ev Schefter. I was texting her, and I'm like, it's over. It's over. As I was going back through it, and I'm looking like, dang, Paul, you was about to hang it up. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? But this was a perfect scenario in which other teams would say, man, we don't have this, better not look next year. All right,
Mm-hmm.
we looking at Green Bay. They talking about. I got a friend TP sits up there and bags on the Browns all year, every year, and
Mm-hmm.
his team is Green Bay, and they not sitting nothing like us. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, man, listen. Everybody can't get this ticket. You know what I mean?
You
Everybody
know what
can't
I'm.
ride this ride. You
We
know what
got
I
the
mean?
golden ticket. So let's speak about being a team that's actually in the playoffs. How do you feel with this next game being a game that we don't have to really play our guys? How do
Mm-hmm.
you feel about resting them going into the playoffs?
Um, with our injuries, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with Denzel sitting out, Myles Garrett, whoever wants to sit out. I'm okay with it because again, we had an early rest week. We had one of the earliest rest weeks in week 5, week 4, week 5, and now for them again, it did come at an ideal time where we played on Thursday, and now they'll have 10, 10 days. Now it's going to be 7. Like so, I know you're going to hit me with the rust and all that type of stuff, but if it's one person we should using a rust card with is Joe Flacco. You know what
Really?
I mean? He came off the couch, practice squad, and
That's
then
a
he
good
you
one.
know he played. So I don't think we can use the rust card. I think our guys do need to you know get an extra week, get an extra week of rest, extra week of rehab, all the massages that you may need, especially Miles. You know
Ah,
him not.
the massages, man. Be
Hey,
careful.
hey, don't get no recommendations from Deshaun. You know, but you could definitely, don't ask for just do your job. Just ask them to do their job. That's it. So, get all the things, treatment and the stuff that you need so that you're able to perform for us in the playoffs. Myles Garrett, again, I was gonna say he didn't get a sack in 5 weeks. I understand you getting double team, but just you're able to get a sack in 5 weeks. I'm gonna assume that it's because he's not fully healthy. Um, Denzel Ward, not coming. They not really training him, but when he does tackle, I can tell it's not the same way that he wants to tackle. Um, you know, Jock, he right now he's healthy. Stay that way. You're playing lights out football. I just
Mhm.
think the guys that who are playing lights out, you know, let those guys get a rest. Tomlinson, he's been staying healthy for us for the most part. Knock on wood. Um, so those guys, Joe Patino, like your back was hurting 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Go ahead and let you have some time off. Um, I'm okay with Hudson and the left tackle and the right tackle. Y'all get as many game reps as y'all need. You know, y'all get some game reps, man.
Right.
Y'all want some game reps. Y'all don't need
Yeah.
to out. Get some game reps.
Uh,
Those certain guys who I know are stamped in the league, as we
yeah.
call it. Emerson right now, you're stamped. Newsom, you've been playing lights out. You can, if you want to play a quarter or two or whatever you want to play. If certain people have incentives that they want to knock off, that's understandable. But if you are, have any bumps and bruises, Coop, you want to rest the hill again.
Right.
Um, those type of guys, I'm okay with that. I'm not rest to me. That's that's a thing. Peyton Manning, one of my favorite. Like they used to have the 1 week off, and then the first few quarters they looked like they should have played. Also, they have a history of the wild card teams making it to the Super Bowl because they end up not having that one rest week. They just play right through it. So I understand that. But when you're a team that's has a lot of bumps and bruises, you know, I feel like you should take your time and get as much treatment as you want.
So just to piggyback off of what you were saying, I like the breakdown of it and everything. I do agree. Especially like even if you could get some of those guys just a quarter,
Mm-hmm.
um, even if it's still just like a dress rehearsal,
Mm-hmm.
if you want.
Like the last preseason game.
Exactly, exactly. So that's the perfect scenario for me. I just don't want them to get into a place where they're complacent. You get what I'm saying? Also, and not only that, I know we have to nurture our injuries, but y'all been fighting through them this long, a week. Let's be real. You get what I'm saying? Some of these injuries ain't gonna heal up until we done with the season.
That's
Um,
true. But I would want you to feel, say you 70%. I want you to get to, 85, 87, 90%, You know how that treatment do. That treatment make get enough treatment, boy. You start okay. Maybe the growing don't hurt as you know what I mean. So
right, right,
you
right.
know, I just hope we get Delpic back, like those type of guys too. But I'm gonna I'm
So
gonna I'm gonna get too far deep.
so with us having a few guys out, how do you feel about? I saw Dalvin Cook is out there. How do you feel about adding depth? How do you feel about Dalvin Cook?
I I I like the guys in our locker room, our key guys. I like our guys in the locker room, even if they may not. Again, this is if Dalvin was going to come, he should have came 4 or 5 weeks ago. You weren't doing anything with the Jets. You were showing that you were, disgruntled there. So now it's, if it was a time for you to come, it should have been actually after Nick Chubb got hurt. That'd have been a perfect time for you to come. You played with Stefanski before. You know what I mean? It's been a perfect time for you to come, but you want to play with Aaron Rodgers. And, unfortunately he got hurt. But after you found out you weren't getting any carries, why not, ask to be released and try to, come play with us. But I feel like the guys in our room already is a tight knitted group. There's no need for to add anybody right now. We added Joe again. Our running game, hasn't looked bad. Like Ford came along last week. I feel about Strong, even though he fumbled. And Kareem is, he's gonna do whatever he needs to for the team. Three running backs is good. I don't think we need Dalvin Cook. I don't think that he wouldn't change life for us. So I don't really care if we get him.
Is there anybody out there that you think that we can go get, or a position that you feel needs to be filled?
Man, great question. Um, Depending on Elijah Moore's health, that's the only place where I see we might need somebody. And again, but with Joe, he needs if that's the case, they need to sign soon because as we can see, Joe throws off anticipation. You know, he believes you're going to be there. I remember he got mad at said Tillman in the game in the fourth down. He wanted him to keep going over, keep going over. So um, he would have to sign now. If there's a guy that you would be happy about, I'm not. You know, if he came on with the team, would be Jarvis Landry. Um, just because again he has that dog in him. I'm not asking you to play the whole season. You know, you're a veteran guy. Um, the Browns, we still, still have love for you. You know, you didn't badmouth us or anything like that. I know you saw the thing. Phil Taylor was, he was in it. He has a few pictures. Remember we drafted him. He played for Baylor, the D
Yeah,
tackle. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
He was celebrating. Like he's like anybody who plays. You know what I mean, for Cleveland, and you play. We're gonna show you love. So Jarvis, I have nothing against Jarvis if he wants to, come in this playoff stretch and he wants to play. That's fine. Who I will try to get somebody who Joe is familiar with. If there's anybody out there who Joe familiar with, who is still in a little bit of shape. I saw people saying T.Y. Hilton, which he's a shifty guy. He's like Elijah
yeah.
Moore. Another he like has the deep ball. Um, but I would go with Jarvis only because again he played with us and he was one of the first guys to like listen, I'm hurt too, like but we need to
Right.
practice, you know what I mean, like he brought that mentality to us. And again, when I was talking about like why I wouldn't want Dalvin Cook like a tight knit group, a lot of those guys in that locker room play with Jarvis, so it'll be he knows what type of atmosphere it is, what to bring to the team, how we are as a team. um the struggle that we've been through as Browns fans, like that would be okay to bring Jarvis in if we were like bringing in a person. Because again, like we brought Kareem Hunt in, nobody wanted Kareem, you know what I mean? But the people we know you, the people in the locker room know you. They met, we have camaraderie and everything. So just I would like Jarvis to come if we had to bring in like a slot type of guy for sure.
So I definitely feel like we've been accepting to a lot of people coming in and making their way into the locker room. Like I spoke on a few weeks ago, Elijah Moore saying that this is the closest he's been to teammates in on any level.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? That speaks a lot, saying that he's only been here for a year.
Okay.
We're not
Yeah.
even a year yet.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
so,
hold on, hold
speaking
on,
to
hold on.
that,
You got who I would want to pick. Like, what about you? Who do you? What you think about Dalvin Cook? Like, do you think we need to bring an extra receiver in? Because that's the only place that I see that we might need somebody. You know what I mean? Our D tackles maybe too, but right now, like our offense, like who do you think we need an extra receiver? Do you think Dalvin Cook would heighten us up, or like what would he bring to the table if we did bring Dalvin Cook in?
Dalvin Cook, what I think he'll bring to the table is the relationship with Stefanski. Stefanski seems like if he has a relationship with the player, he thrives. That player thrives more. The relationship Flacco is showing with Stefanski, it seems to be paying homage to what's happening on the field as well, and them being comfortable. Dalvin Cook was asked when Stefanski was hired as the head coach, how do you feel about him? He was like, that was one of the people that believed in me and actually gave me a role for me to become who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
So, to have somebody that's coming in there that's playing for a coach that they respect, I think that you're going to get the best out of them as well. Dalvin Cook had carries taken away from him, as well as he didn't have the player that he went there initially for was going for the season. So, being a former player, it's like if I came here with like say you my brother and we came here and we going to this school, say college, we're going to this school
Mm-hmm.
together and you get hurt for the season, it's kind of going to put a sour taste in my mouth for me playing the season without you.
Oh, for
You get
sure.
what I'm saying? So, especially when you're not getting carries. So, for me, if we could get him for a deal, I don't see it really hurting. I think that the run game is hit or miss for me, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Sure.
I'm sure we got different scenarios like throwing interceptions. Of course, we're going to have to pass more
Mm-hmm.
to catch back up or to feel like we have to catch back up. But I don't even really have a problem with Stefanski's balance of the run game. I feel like he's been running it when he needs to, but to even just speak towards who we need to bring in, my biggest fear is our kicker going to be okay? Is D Hop? I didn't like what I seen from the other kicker and missing. Didn't he miss an extra point?
Extra point, you sure did.
And so that's what scares me.
Mm-hmm.
When we get down to these playoff games, especially having an offense that we don't know is going to be able to throw for 300 yards all the time. You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Or we're going to need those kicks.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so that's my biggest concern for the Browns is can we what's the kicker situation?
Mm-hmm.
So if
Definitely.
there's anybody out there that we could go get as a kicker, that's my number one
Bill
thought.
Dawson.
Hey, bring
Hey,
in Phil. You
hey,
feel me?
come
If we
on.
bring it in everybody, I saw what's his name? The kick returner Josh Cribbs, man. He was like, man, y'all might as well bring me back since y'all bringing it back all these old people.
No, hey, if you catch punts, because number 11, he just fair catching every time. I don't really think, you know, I'm happy as long as he ain't dropping it. As long as he ain't dropping it, I'm okay too.
Now, with how Joe's playing this year, is I know I don't want to get caught up in the thing of like a fairy tale, but if Joe's willing to come back the next year, are you signing him? How do you feel about Joe, like being a Cleveland Brown for some time?
The only reason why I'm against it is because we have knuckleheads now who are saying Joe should come back next year and he should battle with Deshaun Watson for a starting job. I want people to understand this is a magical. I don't know if people watch basketball, but the Jeremy Lins of the world.
Yes.
So I'm not saying Joe, because Joe Flacco again won a Super Bowl championship, but to play at this age, there's a reason why Tom Brady hung it up. First of all, they don't want to go through training camp. They don't want to go through all these things and aches on their body. They don't want to do those things. So I would love Joe Flacco. I love the chest bump with him and Deshaun Watson. But Deshaun Watson has a few bad passes. People are going to start seeing silly things and say, put Joe Flacco in. Are we not understanding that Joe Flacco he's throwing at a high interception rate as well? We
Right.
are just, overcoming those situations. Let's not forget when with a broken shoulder, what Deshaun Watson did against a
Right.
Ravens team who hasn't lost since, and everybody can't, for some reason, can't throw or can't move the ball against them. He went 14 for 14 in the second half. So I know it didn't look great in the first half with Deshaun Watson, or he hasn't looked great some games. But again, this he was 5-1, 5-1, and he lost the best, to me, the best running back in the league. CMC right now is the best, but Nick Chubb is the best running back in the league in my eyes. Pure running back for sure. Lost him, and he didn't lose a game after that. He didn't lose a game without Nick Chubb because we lost to the Steelers. That was his one loss this year when Deshaun Watson started. So,
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm happy what Joe's doing. It's exciting. He throw the ball in. He throw a nice deep ball. I love to see it. You know,
Pause.
that doesn't mean Deshaun Watson can't do that. That's what Deshaun Watson used to do as well. He used to throw, a pretty deep ball. Pause.
Big
So,
pause.
um, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just enjoy this ride. You know, pause, and but I don't believe Joe should come back next year. It's going to cause too much tension with the fans as soon as Deshaun Watson could have a bad game or might throw the ball, not accurately once or twice. Now, like, man, bring Joe. Joe will make that pass. You know how the
Right.
fans get. You
Right.
know, so it's like they forget what Deshaun Watson has done while he's been here. Has it looked pretty? No, but it's been times Lamar Jackson has won a game and threw 120 yards. But guess what? They say he won the game and it's on his record. Deshaun Watson hasn't always looked pretty. But we have one. We're 5-1 with him. That's a excellent record. You know, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just enjoy this year for what it is. I'm okay with bringing in maybe a vet next year or something like that. But I'm let Joe Flacco get back to his kids. He got five kids. Let him be a dad.
Nah, man. Like I was kind of on the board of bringing him back, but I also listened to his interview saying that he did want to go to a team that had a chance of playing for something more, and he wanted to skip out on the training camps. You
Mm-hmm.
get what I'm saying? So you brought up a valid point in that. He is older. Nobody wants to go through the ground and pound of a whole season. So we do have to understand he is coming off the couch a lot fresher than a lot of these players are.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do like the leadership that he brings to the locker room. It looks like even Watson is learning from him as well. It seems like that he's like another coach in the locker room. So I do like to have him there. I'm not sure if they could work something out there or what, but I don't really think it brings too much danger, especially with the fans. Kevin Stefanski is able to handle that locker room. He's done a great job at it. Everybody tends to really know their role. And people were calling for Deshaun's job when we had what's it called last year? Can't think of his name.
Jacoby Brissett.
With Jacoby. So it's like they're going to be calling for his name, even with DTR. I saw foolishness and people saying DTR should start.
Man, they
It's
better.
man. So
They not, man.
Kevin's going to do his thing. He's going to have control of that locker room. If Flacco wanted to come back and be a leader and know his role, I think he knows that this is a magical run that he's on. He's enjoying it. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's actually what's making him play better because he came off of the couch without really pretty much expectations that you would have for another player.
Yeah, he playing with house money.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different when you come back next year. Everybody know how good you are. When you come in, they're expecting you to be great. All right. So yeah, I don't want to get too caught up in that, man. But going with these other teams, is this somebody that you really fear most, or that you like? I'm comfortable with facing them.
The most feared team that I'm against, or I will be nervous about, is a CJ Stroud Texan team.
Mm.
That's the team that I'm about. Any other Colts, not too nervous about. You know, Paul was it PJ? Listen, I don't want to get too familiar with PJ Walker's name. I almost forgot it. But PJ Walker was able to step in and move the ball against them, and again, Jerome Ford was able to do his thing against them. So I'm okay with playing the Colts if they end up winning. Um, Jacksonville, they started off hot. Trevor Lawrence is a little bit dinged up. If we have to play CJ Burchard, I don't know how to say his last name, but the
Yeah.
backup of the Jacksonville Jaguars, I wouldn't be too nervous about playing them. Um, I know it's in Jacksonville, but I think Cleveland could take over that area and and Indianapolis as well. But Houston, I'm worried we didn't play them at full strength. Um, and CJ Stroud is a different breed. If they could get, I think Tank Dell was on IR. If Tank Dell comes back, I know that can be a problem as well. Um, I'm not really worried about their defense, but offensively, to keep certain things up, I would be nervous about CJ Stroud. Obviously, they're a different team with him. He should to me still win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He went it with a team who won 2 games last year, and now they in the playoff race. Like, how could you not make him Offensive Rookie of the Year? I know that what the guys doing in St. Louis, and LA Rams
Yeah.
is amazing, but obviously, quarterback is the hardest. When you find a franchise QB, what I mean, that's one of the best things to find. And we haven't had one. I'm gonna say Deshaun Watson is, but we haven't had one since I can remember, since Benny Kosar.
Mm.
So having CJ Stroud on that team is a different Houston Texans team, and that will be the team that I'm most worried about. I'm not really worried about any other team um, that we might have to face. Is it AFC South? What about you? Who you worried about?
The Ravens.
Oh,
And
I'm just talking. Hold on. Let me pump your brakes. Let me pump your
okay,
brakes.
you want to get past the first round.
Who need to come on now? It's baby steps to this now. You trying to
I,
get we trying to get to the AFC Championship. We got to win.
I'm not worried about none of them.
You're not worried about none of the people I said.
No.
Even with CJ Stroud.
Even my thing is, I don't think we weren't fully healthy. I think Denzel Ward. What was that? Did Denzel Ward play that game?
I do not recall.
Yeah. So we didn't have Delpit. We
Okay.
don't have Mo Hurst.
Okay.
You
But
get
I'm
what
glad.
I'm saying?
Is he in the IR or is he coming back?
That's what I'm saying. I think he was on IR, honestly. So I think we get a lot of these players back. We didn't have Anthony Walker.
Okay.
And so I'm not really afraid of them. You get what I'm saying?
They was at home when we played them too. So you're not worried about no AFC side because that's our first. I was trying to tackle the first. You know what I mean? One game at a time, Paul.
I understand that. I'm just not worried about them. So
I
if
ain't even
we,
call you insane. I have to call you Paul because you got to come on. I gotta get on you now.
I feel
Okay,
you. So
time.
okay, if we speaking on that, if I have to choose someone, I like the things that you brought up against CJ Stroud. I think those are important. He's playing lights out, and of course, we got to watch him closely, being an Ohio State Buckeye. So we know that he's a winner. We know what he's coming with. But I also know that defense is feared for a reason.
Okay.
And I like our matchup against them.
Okay. So you're going beyond the first round. So you going the whole AFC. So the whole AFC, the only team that you're really worried about is the Baltimore Ravens.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. And the only reason I think they have an edge on defense. And I say that because we are missing our offensive line. You know what I mean? We are beat up at the offensive line. Clowney is having a better year. He's having one of his best years. You get what I'm saying?
Of course. I said, of course.
Right. So them leading the league in sacks is like, I think that's where we're going to have our biggest problem at. That's all going to come down to how Kevin calls. But at the end of the day, them boys going to be hungry, and we playing them at home. So it's a whole different atmosphere.
So this is why I say that this thing is a magical ride. Just imagine. Take you on this, Aladdin magic carpet with us.
There it is.
Joe Flacco in Baltimore, AFC champion. Come on now, you can't write up a better script than that.
Hey, I said the script is in our way.
Joe Flacco go to Baltimore. You know what I mean? They're gonna be obviously he's a vet, so you're not really worried about them screaming. But still, though, that you taking the Browns to the AFC Championship, possibly to the Super Bowl, we play them there. That'll be amazing. That'll be definitely most watched. Like that'll be a great thing. So I'm just trying to do one step at a time.
Okay.
I'm trying to do the first round.
I'll bring it back.
We have to possibly play. Yeah, we could play the Rams first, depending on how the other wild card teams, if they win or what.
The Rams was scary.
Who?
You said the who?
No, I said the wild card. The Rams are. I'm not worried. I mean, the Rams are definitely a good. Whoever on the NFC should be worried about them.
I'm about to say, I don't know why you brought them up, but I was just like,
I'm trying to see who under us. I think the Steelers can make the playoffs. So it depends on. We could play Baltimore right after
the second round, right?
That'd be crazy. But again, the Bills have their flaws. Josh Allen could turn the ball over.
The Chiefs, I'm not worried about.
Just personnel wise, I'm playing man the whole. They're not going to be able. I feel like not get over. Their defense is amazing though. Their defense is very, very great. It'll be all about who makes the mistake. And right now, I think that we could overcome certain mistakes against the AFC South, but once we get he has to take care of the ball more. Even our running backs, again, we have to take care of the ball when we play these in the playoffs for sure. Turnovers are way more, monumental when we play in the playoffs for sure. So they got to take care of the ball. Absolutely.
Now I don't want to get too much into these subjects, man. I do want your score for the next game. Knowing that we're not going to play everybody. I know that's taking a factor, but just what score do you give me?
I'm gonna go with Cincy winning. The first time probably on the podcast when I'm on here that I said another team.
Right.
Cincy probably should win this game. You know what I mean? Even though I don't really like them like that. Um, I'm gonna go 24-10.
I'm close, right? Which I'm 22-10.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put that down so we could come back to that.
Mm.
22-10. So it's looking like we're not gonna score too much. We might get lucky.
I don't see.
Defense might
I don't.
score.
Who's starting for us? Jeff? Who's Jeff Driscoll? Who did we pick up?
Oh, we did pick up Jeff.
Yeah, we picked up somebody to start this game. We're not even letting
Yeah.
our play.
Oh,
But DPR's out, so yeah, we don't want to see PJ Walker no more. So
nah.
we picked somebody up off the, So again, I just hope those guys get some good game reps, out there. I don't really plan on us, being Cincinnati. Um, if we do, Cincy, they got bigger fish to fry if we beat them, you know. But I don't plan on us winning that game.
Now let me hear your top seven, man.
So from the game, my top 7 takeaways from the game. Number one, I'm happy to see our running game get back on track. We were passing a lot with Joe Flacco again. I love the pass. Obviously, me being a fellow receiver, but um, I obviously know how what takes to win games in the postseason, and you have to have a solid running game. Tom Brady had to fall on his running game. Peyton Manning, he was passing all over the yard, but eventually he had to use his running game. So I know like our running game is going to have to get on track to make them honest. And I was happy what I saw. I don't really like Ford like that, but I was happy what I saw from Ford when Strong got in. Obviously on the goal line with Kareem Hunt. My number two, I'm happy that Miles got back on track. He again, like I said, 5 games without a sack
Mm.
is crazy. Um, Again, he's missing some sacks. Like one sack, he didn't even get blocked. You gotta get that tackle. Again, I expect higher things from him. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to see him get back on track, get a sack. Again, hopefully he takes this time off. Because he didn't miss a game from his shoulder injury anyway. So I think that he another week for him. And what happened with his uncle passing away. I think it's okay for him to take like this week off and do what he needs to do. But I'm happy he got back on track for sure. Um, Number three is I love to see like the next man up mentality from our team. Um, Amari Cooper went out. Other people stepped up. Again, our DBs been gone. Roddy McClure, um, Delpit. Obviously, we got Ronnie Hickman come in get a pick six, undrafted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The war been out. Other guys have been stepping up to fill that void for us. Bell has come in and made play. Walker didn't play. Bell had came in, to play like that nickel safety or whatever. Like they everybody says it, but when you see it on the field happening and everybody flying around, it's a great thing. Ronnie Hickman's gonna we definitely should keep him on that team for sure. I don't know how we're gonna get some money for him, but we need to do that. Number four, we talked about him, but Joe Cool being Joe Cool, man. You know,
Yeah.
he he out there anticipating passes, throwing it. He threw a he's having a magical run, like you said himself. Some passes could be picked off. The one he threw to Elijah Moore, I know people remember it. It went up, and
He
Elijah
tipped it.
had to play defense a little bit, caught
Yeah.
it, so he just being himself. Again, every play, he throw the ball deep, I'm expecting fireworks, Either it's going to be an interception or a catch. You're not supposed to live like that, but right now, I'm immune to it the last 4 or 5 weeks, so Joe Cool being Joe Cool. And then as I was watching the game, I'm like, man, my number 5 is the sky's the limit for this team, honestly. Um, it doesn't seem like it's supposed to happen. But again, certain things, you can have all the pieces. Look at the Eagles. To me, I think they have all the pieces. Darius Slay. They even went to go get somebody from the safety from the Titans, Kevin Board, who was a good player. They have a good defensive line. They went to go get pieces, and it's still not working. And for us, we don't have like our necessary piece that we thought we should have,
Mhm.
and we still are making plays and doing everything that we need to do. So that's why I feel like when I was watching, I'm like, man, the sky the limit is the limit for this team. No matter who plays, like they're making plays, they're flying around. I'm really specifically talking about the defense. They flying around making plays. It's a great thing to watch. When you are offensive player, when they give them the ball, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Like it's just looks like again they're well coached, and I feel a magical run happening for us. Even like got if something does happen, we lose the first round. It's still been a great thing to watch these guys play and show like what they're able to do. Um, Number 6 is I'm worried about Elijah Moore's health. He was finally able to get on track a little bit with Coop being out, and Joe Flacco talked about it too. He said, man, he had the game before we played the Texans, he wasn't really able to get him the ball, and now it was Elijah Moore's turn to like step up, and boy did he ever. He
Right.
had a few catches. The touchdown was on the money. He broke him off. As soon as he got out, his break, it was right on him. Again, that's the slot fade that I was talking about. And then the play that he got hurt, which was, man, it looked nasty to watch when he was just shaking. Uh,
Yeah.
he was making plays. So I'm really, man, like just to finally, like his potential finally, a few episodes before I was talking about, man, Elijah Moore was all hype or like where's he at? I mean, we giving him in the rounds and that's really it. But to see him finally, you know, get involved in the offense and then he gets hurt, like I'm like, man, now like I'm worried about Elijah Moore's health. That's one of the takeaways I took. And number 7 is David Njoku has finally like shown us.
Man, I was waiting for it, man. Took all day to get there. Goodness. Talk on it.
Can I have my moment? Can I have
Speak
my
on
moment?
it.
That boy couldn't wait. That boy, David Njoku, man. David Njoku. I've been on him. I've been on him for some years now. For some years I've been on David, man, because you look at him, he's a physical specimen.
Yes.
No, I hate the way he holds the ball. Every time
Oh,
I
man.
hate the way he holds the ball. But his potential is finally being tapped in. He's playing great. Um, you get the ball in his hands, and he does. He's a low to bring down. Pause.
Big
And
pause.
listen now. The pause going. Hey,
Man,
I'm gonna say what's supposed to be said now.
I was going to help you. It sounded like you was having trouble, brother.
So David Njoku again. He's finally shown me his potential out there. Helped me win my fantasy championship. Shout out to him.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
so I'm happy seeing how we are getting him involved. And it's not just a screen game. He's finding open holes in the zone. Drag routes. We're getting him involved, and again, it's showing that he could be a weapon for this team. For years to come. He stay healthy. Excuse me. He should be a key. He's one of those guys like we got to give him at least 3 to 4 touches. Just off of in the game plan. Not we have to draw him up some plays. So I'm happy about David Njoku and how he's playing. That's why I left him last because I knew, I was gonna have some flack from you, man.
Man, I was waiting for you. So, you usually ask me, what I take away from that. I honestly was about to say, forget your whole list if you ain't got him on there. That's what's so crazy because I was winding up the games, getting into new subjects and other teams.
Mm-hmm.
But if y'all like what y'all seeing today, make sure y'all like, subscribe, go and check out my boy's new page. Let them know your Instagram, man.
And underscore top 7, spelled TOPSE7EN. So what I mean, check me out. I'm gonna post more sports things on there that you guys probably haven't heard or seen, or if I find something on Twitter, I'll post it on there so you guys could be in the loop. I'll probably talk about it on here with my guy. Um, if not, still it's something that you guys need to see, like when you guys want to fire Stefanski, or what I mean, like why we not running the ball enough, but lo and behold, we leading the league in rushing attempts. So certain things like that I'll be posting on there. Other sports as well, basketball. I love all sports, so I'll probably post some things on there. Baseball as well. So again, just follow me. Sports related things, and my other page again. You see it on there. That's just me being me.
There it is, man. Go check out my dog. Happy New Year's to y'all again. Happy New Year's to you, brother.
New Year, man. We got great things coming up this year, man.
Yeah, yeah. So stay tuned, man. Appreciate y'all. We catch y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.